G'day to you. Reido on the radio, another vlog, this time on books and reading. 27% of Americans apparently haven't picked up a book in the past year, according to Pew Research and an article in the New York Post. According to this study, 27% of Americans haven't read a book, even part of a book, here in the last year. But that means, hey, 73% of us have, right? That number is fairly consistent over the last 4 years. In April of 2015, 26% of Americans hadn't read a book in the past year, but that is a big jump from 2011, when only 18% hadn't read in the past year. Of course, in 2011, books had less competition in our time, since binge-watching TV shows wasn't really a thing yet. And you think about it, put it in perspective, it was still 2 years before Netflix's first original series. Now there's a boatload of them, and you don't binge watch books, do you? The study also found those people who do read get through an average of around one book every 3 months. I would tend to agree with it. However, there was one book I read on the First World War that was yay thick. It was so heavy with statistics and data. It literally took me 5 years and a bit, about the length of the war, in order to get through it. It was pretty heavy. This year I read a book on Ronald Reagan, his autobiography. That was really good. Also one on the Old West and the gunfighters and the true stories. Even back then, they embellished stories and lots of misinformation about how outlaws were and gunfighters and so forth in the Old West. And also a book on big data on the interwebs and how we all kind of tell a fib or two when we're online, and then tell the truth. And sometimes the truth is really interesting. That was a pretty good book. So what's the next book? I could read the Husker Sports program for the year, right? The Husker Sports Guide for fall 2019. Hey, it's a book. It counts. It's got pictures. It's got text. And I'll look up all I need to know about the Huskers and the rest of the 2019 season. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm going to do. Add this to my list. I can.